Hey, Orchinistas! Welcome to the channel. Guess what? The last video that I just did was shopping for baggy babies. Let me show you the haul that I got. It's a lot. I kind of went a little overboard. But anyway, that's what we do, don't we? Got those little, what do they call them? Little cart jumpers that just kind of jump into your cart. Well, let me start off with the first one that I got. This is an Encyclia, I think it's now an Cattleya, Jackie Bright Hilo Stars. This is a cross between Elsie Gold Digger and a Encyclia randii. This will give clusters of yellow flowers. Now, this is a bag baby that I've already had purchased. And I purchased that one, I'm going to guess 2 years ago, I think. And what I decided to do was purchase a second one, and then I just potted them up and just potted them together. And so that's why there's a little bit shorter one here. But I've got new growth on the big one here coming out in the center and right here. And then the little new one that I bought has new growth right here. And that's all I can see at the moment of the new growth. And so I'm happy with that. Potted it up in a 6-inch plastic pot with orchiata bark and perlite, and just let this one just go to town. And this will come out in clusters of yellow flowers. Right here's a picture of what the flowers look like. And they're probably, if I had to guess, each flower is probably, I don't know, 1.5 inches, 2 inches, somewhere around in there. Okay, then the next one that I got, let me show you this video, yeah, just let me show you. It'll be a video, but let me show you this flower. Now, I'm familiar with this plant. One of the places that I volunteer at has this plant. It blooms every time you turn around. This is Dendrobium White Grace Sato. Beautiful flowers. And here is the plant that I got. And we've got new roots coming out on it. One of the things that I do with all of my plants that I get new into my environment is I start hitting them up with sea kelp extract. You guys know, if you follow this channel, you know I love this stuff. It will kick the hormones in. It will help with the stress of your plants. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks like at least there's another one with root tips. 9 or 10 on this pseudobulb alone for the root tips there. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Maybe it'll focus. New setup here in my new orchid room in my new house, and I'm still working out the kinks on my videotaping and my photography, that sort of thing. But anyway, so this is a seedling, and it's got at least double. It needs to double in size before it will start blooming, will be my guess, based on the plant that I am familiar with at the place that I volunteer at. Okay, then another one that I got, this is Toshie Aoki. This is the Pizzazz cultivar, and it came with, had some damage here on the leaves, and the way that feels, that is, it could have got hit with something. It looks more like it got hit with something that did some cell damage on it versus it being a heat issue. And it has new growth on it right here. Can you see this new growth right here? Look at that. Look at that right there. There we go. Hope it focused. I really do hope it focused. And look at this flower. Look right here. It's a yellow flower with a red lip. Primarily, that's what it is. It has some flaring around the edges. and that kind of thing. And Toshie Aoki has been around for a while, and it has been used to hybridize a lot of, has a lot of progeny, shall we say. And then I got in the 2-inch, I found at a different Lowe's store, because I went to several of them. I got RLC Toshie Aoki, but this time this is Starburst. Now, Starburst has an American Orchid Society award of an AM, an award of merit. And we've got new root tips and a new growth here coming out. Some damage on the back of this leaf here. And I'm not really too concerned. It doesn't look like that is any type of bug damage. A lot of times it can happen during transit. So I'm not overly concerned with that. Overall, though, the plant looks really good. And so we got that. I went mainly and was not going to get a 2-inch. Wanted to go ahead and just get the 4-inch. But when I saw that they had that, but in the Starburst, and knew that had an award from the American Orchid Society, I went ahead and decided to buy that one. Okay. Now, in the previous video about the bag babies, you noticed that I had this one here, and I put up a picture of it, and I put several pictures up because this is RLC Nightcorn. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, but it is all one word. Cherizii, Nightcorn Cherizii, something like that, delight. It's a yellow with a red lip. Now, some of the seedlings of this here could be orange, yellow with a red lip. It could be orange with flaring. I mean, I put up a picture in the last video. I'll put up pictures here. This is a seedling. It does not have a cultivar name on it, so I am going to assume it's a seedling from the cross, and not quite sure what I'll get. When it finally does get mature enough to bloom, then we can look at the picture together and see if we can decide maybe which clonal name it is. When these were named, they were just number 3, number 2, things like that. So anyway, got that one. Okay, and then, woo, you guys, did you watch that previous video? They had FCC. That's first class certificate. That's the highest award you can receive from the American Orchid Society. And I ended up getting the BLC Ports of Paradise Emerald Isle. And this is a cross between BLC Fortune and a species of Brassavola digbyana. And I got 2 of them. Because it's FCC awarded plants, you want to have things like that if you can in your collection. And I'm not sure yet if I'm going to plant these 2 together or separately, but it's better to have, I guess, 2 separate ones than having all your eggs in one basket, as the saying goes. So that way, if anything happens to one, I've still got the other. And so right now, the first one that I bought, I have staked up because the pseudobulb itself, the newest one, the new growth, had not hardened off yet, and it was just flopping over. Flopping over typically means it could need some calcium and magnesium for, just like us, strong bones need calcium. Strong pseudobulbs in your orchids need calcium. So I went ahead and staked this one up so that it would be upright as the pseudobulb continues to mature. Then it will harden off and it will be in that upright position. So we had that one that already had the new pseudobulb on it. The second one here, I am not noticing at the moment any potential growth yet on it. Not seeing. Very possible had some new growth on this one, and it has either been broken off or died back. And that's fine. Sea kelp extract, give it some of that, and it will continue to push out new roots and new growth. So not worried about that. So, but that is the gorgeous green flowers. Just lovely. Okay, next Then I ended up finding, this is one I had been looking at online. It was on my wish list. RLC Aaron Kabaceae. I know I'm saying it wrong. I know. Down here in the bottom, that's where I will always put the names of the plants. But anyway, this is Lahaina Gold. This has an AM from the American Orchid Society. Lovely, gorgeous new growth here. And so far we're getting close. Yeah, we have succeeded. This new growth here is going to end up, as it matures, being taller than this growth here, which was the previous growth. In your seedlings, you want to make sure that, and you know that your plant is healthy, if continually the next pseudobulb, the next new growth is larger than the previous. That's in your seedlings. Once you get to a mature plant, you know, they're all going to be the same size. But for this being a seedling in a 4-inch pot, this new pseudobulb here, the sheath is coming to right here, and that's obviously taller than this one. So this leaf is going to continue to push out as this plant continues to grow. This is what they call a concolor yellow. So therefore it is a solid yellow flower. And from what I can find online, it doesn't look like this plant gets overly big, overly tall. It's not going to be the 24-inch or above standard Cattleyas from what I'm seeing online. If you guys, any of you have this plant or any of the plants that I'm showing you, let me know in the comments the height of your plants. Or do you own these plants? Do you love them? So anyway, look at that picture. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, then the last two that I got, I decided to buy two of the same. This is BLC Teresa Ritchie. That is BLC Hippodama crossed with a Cattleya. It's a fragrant spotted novelty Cattleya. So it's going to actually look like the species, more like the species a Cattleya. Well, it's going to have that shape. So if I'm not mistaken, Hippodama isn't a Cattleya cross. So this is crossed back to a Cattleya, the species, to get the Teresa Ritchie. There again, not sure what I'm going to do here. Notice how it's quite interesting. It's a bifoliate Cattleya, by the way. But notice how this one here has two pseudobulbs. This is the newest growth. This particular plant doesn't have as many pseudobulbs on it. Now, when I purchased it, it had looked like broken off here, broken new growth. This eye here started to swell and turned brown. I'm not quite sure if this has any other eyes on it. So I'm not quite sure the point of new growth that's going to come from this one, where that's actually going to be. The second one, look at the number of pseudobulbs. You know, is there two plants in here? I'm not sure. Only when I replant it will I be able to figure that out. I haven't been able to see that it looked like. It really doesn't look like two plants, to be honest. Looking down in the top here and moving these around, it really looks like this is all one plant. But this is the second one that I got. And there again, this was new growth here. This is new growth. Not seeing any new growth yet. I can tell on this pseudobulb, the eye on it looks like it's swelling. So that is going to be another point of new growth. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with these two is from the standpoint of, am I going to put them in the same pot? Am I going to keep them separate? There again, there's no clonal name on here that is listed. So I am wondering if these are seedlings. It's another reason why I got this plant, went ahead and got two here. Not sure whether or not these are siblings, which means the flowers are going to look a little bit different. And so, but that is the haul that I got by going around to multiple Lowe's Home Improvements. Actually, in my area, Home Depot does not carry Bag Babies, Baggy Babies is actually the trademarked name. So I went a little crazy, but I'm extremely happy with what I got. And everybody seems to be doing really good. Some of these are dry at the moment. They need to be watered. It's probably been a week or two maybe since I purchased these, and this is the first opportunity I've had to create the video. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Share my videos as well. I really am trying to grow my channel. I really do think after 30 years of growing orchids that I will have some tips and tricks for you along the way. So I hope you will stay with me on this journey. And until next time, guys, happy orchid growing. Bye.